You're listening to the Bring the Thunder podcast, a podcast by fans for fans.
Yes, you are indeed, and welcome back to the Bring the Thunder podcast. Jack, Sapphire, and Joe here. Unbelievable performance from the OKC Thunder tonight, or should I call it some of the OKC Thunder tonight. I want to start off by just saying, OKC takes down Utah 131-101 in Utah. No SGA, no Isaiah Hartenstein, no Lou Dort, no Isaiah Joe. The list goes on. And the OKC Thunder come out in the first quarter and break a franchise record? Yeah. They had 11 three-pointers in the first quarter. Breaks a franchise record. I think the previous record was 9 three-pointers in a quarter. So they come out firing. Jalen Williams and Chet Holmgren lead the way, 25 apiece. Chet adds 9 boards. J-Dub adds 8 assists and 3 boards. Really active on the defensive side of the ball, too, tonight. The guys were Kaysen had 5 steals. J-Dub 2 steals. Chet 2 blocks and a steal. Just an outstanding performance from the Thunder tonight with limited resources. The bench went crazy. Aaron Wiggins comes off the bench, makes 5 threes. Very happy. I bet 2+ threes for Aaron Wiggins tonight, and that smacked really quick. He had 19 points. Ousmane Dieng, 14, looked really comfortable with the ball in his hands tonight. Brandon Carlson had 11 points in the first quarter. You kidding me?
In about 2 minutes.
Yeah. I mean, and outside of that, everybody scored. We didn't need much tonight from a lot of people. For the Jazz, they had some good performances out of Kyle Filipowski, 21 and 10. Walter Clayton had 20 points, but, it was kind of late in the game when they were doing their scoring. But the big story of the night was there were a couple breaks in this game where the clocks went out. The smoke machine wouldn't stop going off. Chet actually dunked twice and it wouldn't stop going off. It just kept blowing smoke. It was about like a 20-minute break. They couldn't get anything going right in the Delta Center tonight. So shout out to the Delta Center for really prolonging this beatdown. They ended up playing the game at one point in the third quarter. The refs were manually counting down the game clock, and the PA announcer was manually counting down the shot clock. So shout out to Delta Center tonight. But, fellas, overall, OKC killed it tonight, and I'm really excited and really happy about that because we all knew we have a lot of injuries. It doesn't matter. It doesn't matter. Your guys' thoughts?
I'll go first, and I'll say Brandon Carlson started off really hot in this game. When he checked in, it was like a dunk, a Carlson 3, Dieng hit a 3, and then he hits another one. So he's 4-4 in like his first 2 minutes, had 11 points. So that I thought that was great. And the crowd really got behind Carlson. And I feel like there was a good amount of maybe Thunder fans in there, considering, the season that we're having. And then on top of it, just fantastic shooting by him. We also had 15 assists in that first quarter, 45 points. And it was just a full-on show. And we cannot beat the Thunder has too much help allegations, the super team allegations. I just think we can't escape that narrative. And I guess it's not fully, untrue because of how much talent there is all around the roster. And that's not something, of course, as fans, we'd blame any of our stars for being involved with a great organization. Because also SGA sat through those games against like Memphis or, games that really got ugly at times. So we should reap the benefits of those seasons, those 2 seasons where we didn't make the playoffs in our history versus, now we had 2 back-to-back seasons where we're winning a ton of games. Last January in 2025, we had a 15-game win streak, our best in history. And now we're on a 15-game win streak with the chance against the Suns in our first NBA Cup game to beat that record, but also in the same calendar year have 2 15-game win streaks. I think that's super impressive. And I want to pass it over to Jack.
Yeah, on the preview this morning, we said it'd be a true test to our depth, and it really was because everyone showed out. Even I'd like to highlight Kaysen Wallace and AJ Mitchell, 6 points, and AJ Mitchell had 7 points. But they both had a plus minus of 32. That's out of the world. So it didn't look like they had a good game, but They did, and they impacted winning. Everyone in the whole roster impacted winning, and Usman Jang has reinstilled a little bit more faith in me. His shot was looking good. Who knows?
Gang Gang is still alive and well, man. Let's
He always
go.
pulls
Yeah.
us back in. He always
Shout out
pulls
to
us back in.
Thunder Chats for Dang Gang.
Mhm.
But yeah, I mean,
Yeah.
just listen. I mean, I already listed the injuries. Starting out, in Utah, they could score the ball. They could score the ball. That's what they do. They don't play a lick of defense, but they could score the ball. We outscored them by 25 points in the first quarter. The game was over. Without SGA, I'm not even going to list the injuries again. I want to stay away from the injuries. They outscored them by 25 in the first quarter, and the game was over just like that by guys like Brandon Carlson coming in and dropping 11 points in the first quarter. Chet Holmgren's first half was outstanding. He was the guy on the court, absolutely the best player on the court in the first half.
Called it, Joe. He's the
you did
guy,
call
man.
it.
He's an
You did call
all-star.
it.
He's an all-star.
He is an all-star, absolutely.
All-star starter. He's an all-star starter for the center position.
You could see how much better he was than anybody else on the floor in that first half, especially. But I do want to shout out both of you. You guys pretty much nailed it on our preview. J-Dub goes over, Chet goes over. You guys had different opinions, but Aaron Wiggins goes over.
Of course.
And we covered. Outstanding preview by the two of you. But yeah, it's just really unbelievable what they did. I thought we were going to win this game. I thought we were going to win it, pretty handily. But like Unk said, the Thunder are just a pretty good team, man. They really are. I wouldn't say they're great, but they're pretty good. But with that being said, what do you guys think about games like this? Games like this gives me a lot of promise and hope for the playoffs. J-Dub is in his 5th game back, and he's running the show. As no SGA, that's fine. I'll take over from here. 25 points in 25 minutes, just like SGA does it. He also adds 8 assists. He's getting slam dunks. His three-pointer, he nailed one, a nice little pull-up three. His mid-range looks very good. He looks back to form. And then if you look at Chet from the beginning was like, all right, on my back, let's go win. Your guys' thoughts on, J-Dub and Chet and how they're improving towards, postseason, even though we still have a little ways to go.
I'll say J-Dub's a all-NBA first-team level talent that, because of injury, won't be on that. But I think he's made a leap from a third-team level player to a first-team level player over the summer. And that's mainly because of the experience that he picked up and the consistency that he has more so with his body. We saw that in the second half of the season last year. And I think he just he's going to carry that into this season.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, it's great to see them both comfortable, especially when Shea's out, because sometimes you kind of wonder if they can only play behind Shea and like what happens if he's out. But they just smashed it today, and like combining for 50 points is insane. And I mean, it's exactly what we needed them to do, and they couldn't have had a better game, really. Like, I just don't understand how they've combined for 50, and then we have 4 other players above 10 points. It's
right.
Yeah.
J-Dub. Oh, go ahead. Sorry.
Just, I mean, all of that, and then without so many of our rotational pieces is next level. So.
Yeah, and I think both of them looked like veterans out there. They look like they've been there, done that, which they have. I mean, they did win a championship, but they're still relatively super young, right? Even when we won the championship, there was things to improve on, and they just look super confident and super just ready to roll and hit the ground running. Even without SGA tonight, I don't know if there's a team that could beat this OKC team right now. I know Denver's playing very good basketball, and they have the depth as, like OKC does. But if J-Dub and Chet are going to be that comfortable and lead the team and start posterizing people, I mean, they both had like 2 poster dunks tonight, like dominating. It's going to be really hard for anyone to compete even in beat them twice in a 7-game series. Like, this is the evolution of the Oklahoma City Thunder. We were talking about this offseason, talking about, well, when J-Dub's back, he's going to look amazing because he was dropping 40 in the finals, looking super confident. He's only going to get better. We're talking about Chet, too, with, he has the most blocks in a Game 7. He's going to get more comfortable on the offensive end, start using his handle, start shooting the 3-ball a little bit better. It's all coming true right in front of our faces now. And I mean, fellas, I'm speechless over here. What are teams going to do about it?
We get to enjoy it, and I want to add on top of that, we haven't even gotten to the best defensive player in the NBA from the point of the attack defense. I mean, he's right there with Lou Dort, in my opinion. Case and Wallace tonight, 5 steals, super disruptive. You can't get an inch close to this guy or even throw a ball near this guy. I mean, he's pretty much Lou Dort with crazy wingspan and able to do more from like a help perspective because he's able to help so well and he knows his spots from a help defensive perspective, but he's just as good on the ball against, offensive elite players, which to me, it's blowing my mind because like I'm so used to seeing Lou Dort absolutely lock down the other player, but usually he's just focused on solely doing that part of his job. Kaysen's able to do that and some by helping out in the lane, getting, disruptive lane passes and everything else like that. So 2 parts of his game that, makes an all-around defender. And I don't think it's a bad thing to say he's probably the best all-around like wing perimeter defender in the NBA currently, because honestly, no one else comes to my mind that's as consistent as him this season. And Lou Dort's had kind of a slow start to the season defensively and offensively. So from a just strictly defensive perspective, even for DPOY consideration, I know we have Chet Holmgren who's leading that race right now, but I think if analysts are listening to this, please start considering Cason Wallace because he has to be in the discussion. And honestly, I think I would probably put my vote towards him as a guard because of the crazy amount of impact that he's having. I've never seen anything like it. There's guys like Marcus Smart that's won it, but I think he's even better than Marcus Smart because of the versatility. He's way more athletic. And honestly, he can guard way bigger than he he reminds me of Tony Allen in all aspects of the game. So, and that's about as perfect of a defensive player. Yeah.
I think Michael Cage said it best during the game. Don't put a ball on the floor near Cason Wallace. Just don't. Like Cason Wallace is him.
Yeah, it was 2 plays in a row. I think before halftime, Cason gets a steal. They go down. I think Wiggins missed a lay-in. Cage, I think mentioned right there, don't put the ball down in front of him. Jazz point guard dribbles the ball up. Cason just rips it right from him again, throws an alley-oop to Wiggs. It's late at the buzzer, but it was 2 plays in a row where it's just like, this kid's everywhere, and it's impossible to dribble around him. And we saw that in the finals. It's interesting, Satmir, you said like, it's time for people to start listening and watching Cason Wallace. Well, I think they are. He just won Defensive Player of the Month last month. And we talked about it the other day, and I was like, wow, that's something because, I wouldn't expect them to be really watching Cason Wallace and giving him the respect that he deserves. He's arrived, and I think the media knows that as well. Going to get to some of these comments here. Mike B, we did talk about the Mormon Carlson. Yes, he was playing in his hometown. Outstanding first quarter, 11 points in the first. Unbelievable game from him. And to get to this comment from Remix here too. I don't want to sidetrack too much here, but really quick, since these are our members, we prioritize these comments first. While I'm saying that, if you guys haven't checked out our premium memberships on our YouTube channel, go check them out. Whole lot of perks you guys can enjoy. We do a lot of extra content behind the scenes for our members only. So go check those out on the YouTube channel. And that's that. But Remix here, really quick, guys. I don't want to get off board here, but you guys saw the injury earlier in MSG today. Franz Wagner looked brutal. I didn't see an update yet, but I could only assume maybe an ACL, something around that. Your guys' thoughts?
Yeah, it's pretty sad, but also the Magic have been injury bugged, especially last year and this year, and I feel really bad for them because they should be contending or like being one of the top dogs in the East, and they just can't get over these injuries. I think Jalen Suggs also got injured, or he tweaked his leg, and like last year they were all injured. So yeah, I really hope that they can improve their health, but it's kind of sad to see.
I mean, it's just a unfortunate event. I mean, there's not much to get into there. Just prayers up for him and, wishing him a safe recovery.
All right. Now we're about a little past 60 minutes of the way through here, fellas. It's time for everybody's favorite segment of the night. It's called What the Hell is Jack Wearing? Trust me, that's the best title for the segment I could do. So if you're new to the show, Jack wears a Thunder jersey after every OKC victory of the season on our post-game lives. Unk's beating everyone to it. He's going Dort right away. He doesn't tell the panel which jersey he's wearing. Obviously, you guys in the comments don't know. Drop your guesses in the comments right now. Obviously, I see it's a blue away Thunder jersey. So I'll let Satvir go first before I get to my guess.
Man, I'm going with Carlson. It was between him and Case and Wallace. I don't think he goes with a J-Dub or Chet Shout on this, even though they had great games. It could be Chet, but I'm going to lean towards Carlson because that's just what my gut's telling me. So I'm going to keep sticking with my gut, and I haven't gotten one right, but oh well.
Yeah, Project Monster here. One of our members said Wiggins. Remix is thinking Shea.
I don't think he would do that to us again. That'd be really that actually upset me.
So I'm thinking here is I gotta ask you, Jack. I don't want to spoil it, but is Remix with you right now?
Yeah.
He is with you. So is he trying to throw me off or not? Is the question.
It's mind games, man.
It is mind games. I'm gonna trust him. And if he stabs me in the back here, I'm gonna get pissed off, but we'll talk about that another time. Unk said if it's Wiggins, he's leaving because he said Dort. All right, let's lock it in. Sap, your final answer.
I'm sticking with Carlson just because he's the GOAT.
All right.
Well,
he said he's so sorry. Okay, wait. Now I'm changing my answer. Screw that. I'm going with Jalen Williams. If it's Shea, that just ruined my night already. But I'm going with Jalen Williams.
Yeah. Okay. I would like to shout Sapper out because I do have a blue Brandon Carlson jersey.
All right.
But this one's not it. Aaron Wiggins.
Oh my goodness.
Please don't leave Unk. I'm sorry, Unk.
Unk, don't leave.
Unk Smith got on Wiggins twice.
We'll make it up to you. Well, that kind of ruined my night. Remix over there kind of just threw me for a ride there, and I don't know if I'm going to be able to recover from that. But all right, let's get back to the game, fellas. Let's get back to the game. We already said a bunch of overs hit tonight.
Go
ahead.
I do have a point with the free throw percent. I think
there you
go. It was less than a 3-point and field goal percent, which was interesting. 44% from the free throw line, 50% from three, 58% from the field.
Yeah, looking at it, the starters shot pretty well. Chet did not shoot well from the free throw line. No, Unk, don't leave us, Unk. Don't leave us. We'll make it up to you, I promise. I'm joking, but well, I'm not joking, but yeah, from the free throw line tonight, Chet didn't shoot well, but J-Dub made both of his. AJ made both of his, which is very important because he's been a little streaky from the free throw line. It was really the combination of BC at the end. Brandon Carlson's got a new nickname, by the way, BC. How about that? Kenrich goes 1 for 4. Kenrich actually gave the Delta Center, everyone in there, free Chick-fil-A, if you guys didn't notice. In the fourth quarter, if we were to miss 2 free throws in a row, free Chick-fil-A for everybody. I think he might have did it on purpose because that second free throw was brutal. I'm hoping he did it on purpose. But, yeah, it wasn't a great night from the free throw line, but looking at who were the people that were missing the shots, I'm not too worried about it. All right, Unk staying. Okay.
Perfect.
You guys have any other thoughts about tonight? I know it was a breeze of a game. Nothing went down pretty much, but
I guess my thought would be Aaron Wiggins was really efficient tonight. I know you mentioned the 5 for 5. He finished 5 for 6 on 6 of 9 shots. I think he's just been a really efficient 20 points per game. I think he's pretty much landed in that spot where, due to his age, his skill set, that's where Mark is essentially utilizing him. And I'm honestly fine if it's a consistent 20 every single night with the roster that we have. So that way he knows what he's expecting. And so within those 20 minutes, he uses that to be as efficient as possible. Obviously, if he can get more minutes, I know Jack would love to see that. But I think right now he's kind of constrained to that because of the fact that AJ's on the rise. Case and Wallace is playing, honestly, the best defense in the league. And it's just hard to find those guard minutes, especially when you start adding in a shooter like Isaiah Joe, Alex Caruso, and everyone else. So I thought there was fantastic usage of the minutes that an opportunity that he's getting. And maybe because he's so consistent for a big stretch of games that he starts getting more minutes. And that's kind of the hope. I hope that happens, but I'm also not honestly counting on that because that's never really been the case with him. We keep asking for more Wiggins minutes, and we just don't receive that year to year. And I feel like this is our third season straight, maybe asking for that just as
Right.
fans.
And this is
But-
the one. This is probably the season where you should have seen the increase in minutes.
Yeah.
The 20 minutes
I-
tonight was fine because the guys who off the bench that had more played at the end of the game. So it's like you don't want to put Wiggs out there at the end of the game. It's kind of disrespectful at this point. What he's doing in those minutes is unbelievable, by the way. Came into the night averaging 13 points per game. He had 19. We've seen him when he gets an influx of minutes, he's dropping 20 or more. In the game at Portland where he started, he had 33 before he had the groin injury. I don't know where he fits necessarily. Maybe Jack does.
Well, obviously, I think he should be getting more minutes, but I also think our bench or our rotation can't be set in stone. It has to be night to night, even the starting lineup, depending on who we're facing, what's happening in the game. If we need defense, then you could sub in Kaysen. If we need 3-point shooting, I mean, you should sub in Wiggins, but I wouldn't be mad if you subbed in Isaiah Joe. If you just need scoring or that spark off the bench, then it's definitely Aaron Wiggins. And I feel like we need that more than any of the other stuff, but which it does get a bit frustrating not having Aaron Wiggins play when you know he'd just impact the game if you got in. But I guess we're just too deep, so
right.
It is what it is.
It is a good problem to have where a lot of teams aren't able to say, oh, well, we need two guys off the bench to come in and lock down the two best players. Well, we have that. We have the two scorers off the bench. We have 2 3-point shooters off the bench. We have anyone that's needed on any given night. So that is a good point. Any given night, it could be any given player off the bench. So, but Wiggins seems to be around that 20-minute mark every time.
Yeah, if you give the opportunity to Wiggins, it'll be him every night. This is all I got to say.
Right. I'm going to get to some of these members' comments really quick. Indy, welcome in, brother. Congratulations on your 1 seed. I do want to send my condolences and my prayers to your starting quarterback, Daniel Jones, over in the NFL. Very unfortunate news today. Sucks. I was even upset about it. Remix, thank you very much. Unk, what do y'all think the point spread's going to be? Phoenix coming next game. We're going to get to that very soon. We're going to preview that very soon, Unk. So we're going to get there. He says 15.5. We'll get to that. And then One Love. It was cool seeing AJ work on his passing game tonight. Yeah, AJ could do whatever he wants on the floor. I feel if he wants to go score 20, he will. If he wants to be a playmaker, he will. If he wants to be the best defensive player on the floor, he will. Really good player. And before we get to our second segment of the night, Indy Sports has gifted another Bring the Thunder podcast membership. Shout out Indy. W's in the chat for Indy. Indy, thank you very much, sir. Again, if you guys haven't seen our memberships on the YouTube channel, go check it out. We do so much stuff for our members. We prioritize every single one of them. You could even hop on the live with us if you wanted to. You could hop on our weekly episodes, members only episodes, and come play games with us. Go check all that. But there we go. Remy W Indy. Miro's looking for one too, Indy. I don't know. But and whoever is the new member, hop in and say, what's up? Welcome to the community, man. Let's get to our second segment of the night while we're here. It's Satvir's Quarter. Satvir, do you have your start bench cut ready for the people?
Yes, I do. I was just looking through on the 3 players I wanted to get involved on this. And I always try to mix in, a couple Thunder and the opposition. And so the 2 Thunder players that I chose for this is Ousmane Dieng and Brandon Carlson. And from the Jazz, I'm going to choose their outstanding player, Cal Filipowski. I feel like that's a good 3 mix where they're kind of bench level guys, kind of all in the same tiers. And I thought it was a little bit more interesting. And I didn't want to use like Chet and J-Dub, and they'd obviously get that starting spot. I want to make it a little bit more interesting for the folks. So drop in the comment section below who you would start bench cut between those 3 players. And I think this one makes you think a little bit more about each of the talents that are presented. I know what direction I'm going to go, but I'm curious as to what you guys think first. And I'm going to put Jack on the hot spot first. Let's hear it, Jack.
It's a tough one. I think where I have to start is with cutting Ousmane Dieng. He was good tonight, but I feel like he's been in the league 4 years now, and yeah, we see glimpses here and there, but not quite. I'm gonna bench Brandon Carlson. I think in his short tenure in the NBA, he's probably done more than Ousmane Dieng. Seems a bit more impressive, and yeah. And then I'm gonna start Kyle Filipowski. Give the second year, I believe, player his respect. I think he's pretty decent. As we said in the preview this morning, his draft stock fell for whatever reason, but he should have been a first round, and I think he really fits in with the Jazz. So, although, yeah, that is a tough one. I think you could definitely interchange Carlson and Dieng.
This is the interesting one. I believe him and Brandon Carlson are both from Utah, if I'm not mistaken. I'm going to have to agree, and I'll give you a little bit of a different explanation, so I'm not just repeating what Jack said. Filipowski looked good in both games against OKC this year. I think he's a very solid player. I saw a lot of young talent on that Jazz roster that I was just like begging in my mind watching tonight's game for them to just leave and find a different role on a different team, because it's just miserable over there. It really is right now. And just throwing those kids into the fire and not playing them enough, honestly, is just a problem that Utah has on their hands right now. I think Filipowski is a good basketball player. I'm going to bench Brandon Carlson. We saw it tonight in little spurts that he has. He looks to be a rotational player in the NBA. He's on OKC right now. There's a lot of players on OKC. If Brandon Carlson found himself on a Orlando Magic rotation, I could easily see that. We mentioned that last year. Just there's a lot of teams that Brandon Carlson could be playing for in a rotation. So he's a very good player. And then Ooze, we love Ooze, but we're still waiting just to see that consistency. Very happy with his performance tonight, but the consistency has been rough. That's it for me.
I'm going to go with start Filipowski because I agree with everything you guys said, but I'm going to bench Oos over Carlson, in my opinion. I feel like Oos has the higher ceiling towards the type of player that's needed in the NBA for his position and his ball handling, considering he used to play point guard. So I think that takes you a lot further than a player that's not able to self-generate or self-create in this NBA that we're in. Carlson is more of a consistent ceiling, like, higher floor, but where Oos could go towards, 2-3 years from now, I think I'm still going to take that higher upside with him. And so I'm going to have to, unfortunately, cut the GOAT Carlson in this case. And that's my
fair point.
Thought process.
Absolutely a fair point. You can't really go wrong with either one of them. I mean, Carlson looks to be the better player early on, but Oos is still developing, which is, I think, why Jack and I probably let him go, but definitely has a higher ceiling for sure. Mm-hmm. All right. Back to tonight's game. Last thing about tonight I wanted to bring up was, not necessarily tonight, but we're going to be a little more healthy, I believe, in this Suns game. Do you guys have any injury updates on Shea? I think we believe he's going to be playing, and Lou Dort, especially for Wednesday's game in Phoenix against Phoenix, I should say.
I believe everyone should be reevaluated for the game, so we won't know until the day before. But yeah, I'd assume we see Shea for the game. I doubt we see Hartenstein. And then the others, I guess, I couldn't tell you.
I'm probably going to predict for a game like that, Caruso's back. Lou Dort, I'm not sure where his thigh's at because I haven't seen any updates on it, so I'm not even going to make a prediction, but SGA is definitely going to be there, and I think we're going to need a little bit more rotation help, so either Caruso or Dort will probably come in, maybe both, considering how kind of important the game is and to the team and everything like that, so maybe more guys show up, but I think they're still going to be playing it pretty safe with Hartenstein's injury that he has because it was soft tissue, but yeah.
Really quick before we do get on a quick preview there. Welcome in. Correct me if I'm wrong here. Barkuz, our new member. Welcome in. Welcome to the community. Go check out all the perks on the YouTube channel. And back to the preview here. So, Unk asked a question earlier. He said, what do you guys think the point spread will be? Basing off of the last game, it was 14.5. We didn't have Hartenstein for that game either, but we were a little bit more healthy So I'm expecting, me personally, I'm going to start here. SGA will play. I know that. I'm expecting like a 9.5, 10.5 spread.
Wow, that's shocking. What do you think, Jack?
I'm in a similar realm. I think either 11.5 or 12.5. I think a little bit higher. But again, it depends on these injuries, so we'll have to see. But
I'm going with a
what are you thinking?
13.5 spread. I think they still give us a respect. I think because it was a little closer, maybe it could be closer to 13 or 12, 12.5 at most. But like, I don't think it drops below the 12 range because, I mean, we have SGA on our team and he's the unanimous MVP for the season. So I just don't see it. And especially with J-Dub having this game that we just saw. And if he plays anything like he did tonight and asserts himself into the offense, I mean, there's just no way they can compete. And also Chet's taken another step up in these past couple games where he had a slow stretch. You know, he had a fire five game stretch and then had a little slow stretch, and now he's kind of back to being more consistent. And so from that thought process, between if we have all three of those players showing up at all NBA first team level, which I believe they all are, I just don't think the Suns should have that level of respect against us. And we don't know, I guess, how the Suns will pan out as well. So
yeah, well, I'm super interested to see where it's at. Obviously, we beat them by 4 at home the first game. The Suns played very well. We may have Lou, we may have Caruso, but we're not sure. So I'm, the reason why I'm saying like 9.5 is because we only beat them by 4. And if we're more injured than what we were originally in the first game, why wouldn't it just go down from 14? Maybe not to 9, 10.5 sounds right. But we will see when the injury report comes out, it will change. So we'll be up to there. But I think other than that, do you guys have anything else tonight for the fans here?
No, man. I mean, I'm just happy everyone joined in. And I want to shout out Sam Presti before we end the night off with our 2022 draft class. J-Dub having 25, 8 assists, 2 steals. Chet, 25 points, 9 rebounds, 2 blocks. Deng had 14 points on 4 of 5 3-point shooting. J-Will tonight, 5 points, 6 rebounds, 4 assists, and 1 steal. So that draft class is looking fantastic. And, of course, we got to shout out our GOAT, Sam Presti, for putting all this together and, extending our historic win streak that could get to 16 on that Suns game. What do you think, Jack?
Yeah, just shout out to the team for coming out healthy and not picking up any more injuries. I think that was basically the key thing to the game. So hopefully we're more healthy next game, and that's all I could have asked for this game.
Yes, Unc, I do have something to say. Outstanding victory tonight. I want to thank all of everybody in the chat, everybody who's listening, tuning in consistently. You guys are the best. We love you all. People joining the channel, joining the memberships. We promise we're going to continue to put out the best OKC Thunder podcast content that we possibly can for you guys. If you haven't checked out the memberships, go check them out. Sub to the channel. If you're enjoying the content, like the video, sub to the channel. Put on post notifications. And Unc, Thunder up, baby. Let's go.